Hello, everyone. Welcome back. The Honolulu Blue Breakdown. After a couple week absence here, we're into our off-season content. I'm Troy, joined with Zach, Jordan, and Matt. We're back. We're going to break down a little bit of free agency here. We're about a week or so away from the kickoff of free agency. And then, of course, we're going to do our new North Watch. So how you guys doing? Are you settling into the off-season, a little bit of the dead period?
We're getting there. Over here in West Michigan, we thought it was going to be spring a couple weeks ago, and then, dang, we got dumped on with more snow, so that was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, got a few more inches last night. Yeah, I mean, new league year starts this month. I basically next week. It kind of feels like. And shout out USA, men's and women's hockey. That was awesome. Yeah, ready for the new year though.
Yeah, a lot of great hockey players from Michigan. I know just in our area too, Troy, Metro Detroit. Like I think Larkin went to Kate's high school growing up. So I don't know if they went at the same time or not. I'd have to fact check that. But I wish. That'd be sweet. No,
that sounds like a yes.
But yeah, it's no same thing. I thought spring was here. We were in the 50s for a couple days, and then could have been a snow day today. The roads were pretty bad, but I think we're gonna warm up here again this week. So
should we jump right into the North Watch, our new segment? We're gonna give a little update on our division rivals here. So Zach, you want to lead us off?
Yeah, I got the Bears. They're the defending NFC North champions. Not too many coaching changes. Press Taylor was the passing game coordinator. He got elevated to offensive coordinator. Ben Johnson talked about how he fully stamped his approval at the combine. That really doesn't mean anything because it's not like Press Taylor's going to be calling the plays. Ben Johnson will. Really, that's their only big thing other than they might be the Indiana Bears pretty soon. We'll see.
That whole situation has been a freaking joke. Like, I mean, I don't know how many times over the past like 2 or 3 years I've seen, they might have a deal here in Arlington Heights or whatever it is. Oh, they're going to redo Soldier Field. Oh, now we're going to Indiana. Like, if I'm a Bears fan, like, gosh, that would be so frustrating.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Zach, I guess with your time living over there, how do you think Bears fans are dealing with that news, or if you still talk to any of your people over there?
I mean, I think they all want them to be in the Chicagoland area. It feels weird if they're going to be in a different state, but it's all about leverage at this point. I mean, I'm sure they're going to stay in Illinois. It's just about finding the right deal for a new stadium.
All right. Well, the Packers. I got the Packers. My favorite team outside of Detroit now. So I've had the pleasure of trying to listen to some Packer news and podcasts and stuff like that. It's a little bit difficult, but their offseason is going to be really interesting. I think they're such a great organization, but they have kind of lower cap room. So the entire NFC North is like under the cap. They're like negative rate as of right now. So that's interesting, but they lost those 2 first-round draft picks with Parsons. So it'll be interesting to see how they address their offseason needs. They do have some minor, some pretty decent gaps in the defense and offensive line. So Jonathan Gannon coming in from the Arizona Cardinals head coach didn't really do so well there. His background, he had top 10 defense in Philly. I think that was the Super Bowl that they lost to KC. Maybe that was in overtime. I remember that one was much closer than the one they won, but when he was a DC with the Eagles, his stamp was kind of like the defensive line. So it'll be interesting with him paired up with Parsons. They just got to shore up the inside. I think their run game or run defense wasn't so great. So that'll be interesting to see how they do there. And then, oh gosh, I should know this, but whoever left, I don't even know, their special teams coordinator. I think there was a lot of rejoice from Packers fans just because that's been their Achilles heel. And I mean, I obviously haven't watched all the Packer games, but the ones that I have, I feel like, it's the block punts or the blocked field goal or, a punt return that really is a dagger for them in critical games. So a new face there. Let me try to get this name here. It's like a Chord or something like that. He's coming from Belichick's system. He's young. So we'll see. I'm sure it's better than what they had before. I don't think there's a lot of expectations there. But Gannon will be interesting. I think he's a little bit different than Halfley. Doesn't really have a scheme is what I'm hearing. He's more kind of build it around the player. So, they have some good players on that defense. But like I said, the corner room is awful. They need a linebacker. They need some D linemen. So that'll be interesting. I think the main thing for the Packers outside of the DC and special teams coordinator is, they kept the GM and the head coach, and there was a lot of questions of LaFleur maybe getting canned or whatnot. So having that stability going forward into the next season, unfortunately for us as the rest of the NFC North, I think they'll be okay, but we'll see.
Jordan, I'm worried about your health. Blink twice if a Packers fan is holding you hostage right now to hype up the team. My gosh.
Oh boy. I know. I'm learning too much about it, and it's interesting. I don't want to be a fan of them, but like if I listen to their stuff every week to learn more, am I going to be like, oh, I kind of like them from a distance, or I really like the rookies they got this year or something?
You're going to buy some shares in their ownership.
Oh, yeah. That'd be crazy. I'll go to Lambeau. That's what we should do for the North Watch. We should all go together to each stadium next year.
Oh, that'd be lovely.
So if there's any rich people watching, let's go ahead and just go fund us, and we'll. And for the Lions game, we've all been to Ford Field.
Do it. Yeah.
Maybe we can be flown out to Deutschland.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. Haven't had a morning game in a while. Speaking of Lambeau, has anyone been there?
I was there, not for like any sporting event, but we were driving back from the UP through Wisconsin. We stopped at Lambeau, and I remember because we stopped and like the parking lot was completely full and there's just people everywhere. And it was like, what's going on here? And my dad made the comment, he's like, that's just Packer fans. They love their team. They're just always at the stadium. So then we like stopped and went to check it out, and it was a Girl Scouts convention. So technically, I guess I was at Lambeau.
Did you go into the stadium?
Yeah, we like whatever, like their main entrance or whatever. You could like walk in there, just like their main whatever.
Okay, that is the most random place to have a convention.
Yeah, this was probably like, I don't know, early high school, sometime around there.
There's probably a picture of you and your dad somewhere in the stadium. Like, these guys are trying to follow some Girl Scouts in here. Watch out.
We're on a list somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, everything I hear though is that it's pretty incredible. I know Chris goes there, and so with his in-laws. So yeah, I think I'm sure I'll make it out there someday. Sounds pretty cool. All right, Matt, who do you have? Oh, you got the Vikings.
I've got the Vikings. Yeah, I mean, from a coaching staff, like everything's the same. Basically, they're going to run it back with, their head coach, OC, DC. Just a little bit of fresh news today. I don't think that's, mind-blowing by any means, but they're going to cut Aaron Jones and Javon Hargrave. So just to kind of help themselves get over the cap or get under the cap for this coming season. So I'll be curious to see where Aaron Jones ends up. I feel like he was always a guy that we had trouble with. So, I'm not sad to see him go. But not a whole lot of, roster updates yet. I'll be curious to see what they do in free agency, particularly with a quarterback, though. Like, I think I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago where I think the biggest story within Minnesota going into this offseason is, the quarterback position. They have JJ McCarthy. They're, from all I've seen and heard, they're not giving up on him yet. And I don't know why you would, but it does feel like they're going to bring in some veteran quarterback. I think some of the big names that are kind of floating around, potentially like a Geno Smith, Kyler Murray, Tua Tagovailoa is on there. I think that's kind of a long shot. And Kirk Cousins is kind of thrown around there as well. So I don't know. Like I could see Kirk going back there. I feel like that'd be a great fit, unfortunately. But I feel like he might be a guy who potentially would beat out JJ. So, I mean, at the very least, I'll be curious to see what they do there. And some of the older guys, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is really in the mix. There's Joe Flacco, Garoppolo, Carson Wentz. Those are all kind of names on some of like a fringe guy. But I'll be curious because we've seen the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, and a lot of, I'll say, injury proneness from JJ so far. That'll be interesting going into next year. But yeah, I think that's really from a Minnesota standpoint, as much as I've seen, I'd be curious to see if there's any Minnesota fans out there. What's your heart want going into next year from a quarterback position? But
one thing that's kind of weird with them without having a GM right now, and I think they said they were going to try to look for a GM after the draft or something. That seems a little odd to me.
That is.
He's making all the picks.
I would assume, like, who else would be,
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
That's weird. As a GM, like, you'd want your job to come in and have everything, picked out already. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It might be tough.
Well, moving to the Lions, the team at the bottom. So we talked about Drew Petzing, obviously, the new offensive coordinator. I did see that Johnny Morton is back in Denver, I guess. So he's back with Sean Payton. Kind of took over the role that he was in before he went to Detroit. We do have a new tight ends coach, Steve Oliver. He was the assistant offensive line coach, so he just got promoted from within. So I know when we were talking about Petzing, there was some hope that maybe he would bring the tight ends coach from Arizona, who I guess is pretty well regarded, but we just promoted up Steve Oliver. And then some interesting ones. So Mike Kafka, who, there was some talk that maybe he would be the OC. He is also on staff. He is the passing game coordinator, which is what David Shaw was last year. So he took David Shaw's job, but David Shaw is still there, just in a slightly different role, I guess. And then the fun news is Dan Skipper is an assistant offensive line coach now. So he moves over to the coaching staff.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see him on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You can probably be screaming at people.
I wonder how he'll be as a coach, or if that's just always something. I mean, he seems really well liked, but you wonder when you're trying to coach guys you played with how that'll go. But
right, yeah.
Oh, that's true. But I always watching like Lions admin content and stuff. I feel like a lot of the interviews from coaches and maybe a couple players too, like, who do you think on the team would be a great coach? And it was always like Dan Skipper. That includes like MCDC saying that. I know that for sure. And then could have been a couple of players. I can't remember exactly who else, but I remember hearing him multiple times. So it's funny that now he's in a role here with us. That's awesome.
So moving to our sponsor here. He's been our sponsor since, Dan Skipper was still a player at the time. And today's episode is, of course, proudly sponsored by Phil Niekamp, realtor with Keller Williams Harbortown, serving Holland, Zealand, and all of West Michigan. And, of course, he's a Lions fan. He's ready for the draft. He probably just watched the combine, looked at the arm measurements and the height and weights there. But if you're buying or selling your home, it's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. And Phil believes it should also be one of the most personal. He helps families not just move, but move forward with confidence. So whether you're buying your first home, selling to downsize, relocating, or just investing, now's a great time to have an honest, no-pressure conversation. So visit philniekamp.com or search him on social media and get in contact with him for your home purchase. All right, next, moving into free agency. So starting next week, hopefully we'll see some money get spent. Probably not a little bit, but do you guys have any, before we get into the positions, do you guys have any, let's say, thoughts about what Holmes will do or any expectations?
Well, I guess first and foremost, like, did we want to chat about Taylor Decker right now? I mean, he announced he was coming back last week, which, I think, I'll be honest, I was surprised. I thought after kind of what he's been through from an injury standpoint the last couple of years and how he's talked about that. I just kind of thought like that was kind of it. But I've had a few questions from some other guys that I work with or, that I talk Lions with, and I'll be curious to get your thoughts. But I think overall it's a positive. I think some of the, some of the feedback or, hey, we should cut him. Like, hey, he's too much money. He's old. He's injury prone, which I get that side of it. And because that was a real thing with him. But I also think he's, such a veteran guy within that line. And when he's healthy, he's pretty solid still. Like he's, I would say, I don't want to say top 5 in the league, but I think he's still like, shoulders ahead of a lot of folks. But I guess what I'm trying to say is like, I think we're better off. We don't have to fill that spot, potentially rotate, Panay over there. But I think overall it's a positive. So I'd be curious to get your thoughts.
I like any continuity. I especially a name like that. I know he's probably declining. Obviously, he's close to retirement, but I'm fine with it. I haven't really looked super closely at how much we owe him this year, but I know I saw that too. Like, oh, we'll just cut him, save the money. But they wouldn't do that to a player like that that's been with us. And perfect time to draft. Maybe even if it's a later round, draft another project tackle and take another shot at that behind Decker here. And if that doesn't work out, I guess address it next year. But if anything, I mean, even if he were to lose a starting spot to say like a rookie or something like that, then that's some depth piece or just helps out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys nailed it. The continuity staying the same is nice. If I remember correctly, Decker graded as slightly above average for I can't remember what his grade was, but slightly above average, although his comments were surprising because he was explaining what it took for him to play last year, what he was playing through. It kind of felt like that was going to be the end for him and Graham, but I guess he's coming back. Hopefully this kind of reinvigorates him for one more season, and then we can kind of readdress the position in the future. But you're right, we don't have to fill that slot now, and he's a leader in the locker room, so that's nice.
Yeah, and I'm just glad he did it, announced it when he did before the draft or free agency. It's not like Frank who, it was later, even though I'm sure they kind of knew, but just kind of knowing already what's going on. And yeah, I mean, he's still a really good tackle. Like, his issue is just injuries and kind of staying healthy. But when he's out there, we don't really worry about him. My thing is I'm still 100% on board with drafting a tackle in the first round and just letting that guy learn and kind of being the 6th lineman. And then, he'll probably still play 3 or 4 games because Decker now wouldn't have to push it every single week. Like he can take a couple weeks off and get healthy if he has an injury pop up. So yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a negative in this. I did hear one thing that, with the cap number with him, it could take us out of the running for, maybe the big free agent center that we'll get to that we've kind of hoped for. So, there might be some trickle downs with that, but I'm happy he's back. So quarterback. So just to kind of set you guys up here, the way this works is you'll see where Jared Goff is. That's the players that'll currently be on the Lions roster. Right below Goff is Kyle Allen. So you see Kyle Allen's a free agent. And then to the right is all the, a handful of free agent quarterbacks. And the numbers next to them are the rankings on ESPN. So ESPN gave the top 50 free agents. And so you'll see Daniel Jones was the 4th best free agent, Malik Willis, the 17th. So I listed all of the top 50 and then just kind of put some random ones in there as well. So, I guess we can kind of go through these and say, would we bring a guy back? Would we look at a different player, maybe just ignore it and draft or whatever? But Zach, what are you thinking with quarterback?
I don't really know. It seems like the smart thing would just be bring Kyle Allen back. He knows the system really well. He's young, but part of me thinks, hey, like maybe you start getting another quarterback in the pipeline in like the 5th round or 4th round if you think that the guy is worth it. But I'm sure it'll all come down to price because we're butting up against the cap and they gotta pinch pennies a little bit here in some of these slots.
Yeah, I'm more focused elsewhere. I think, I don't know. It's so interesting, this team. Like, if Goff were to go down, I feel like that's it, especially in our division. Wouldn't think there's anyone out here right here that I'd want to spend the money on in that case, And, I don't even want to speak to it. Goff's been durable. I mean, knock on wood, but.
Yeah, no, I don't have too much of a different opinion here. I think Kyle Allen, I think he would be a solid guy, bring him back into the culture, back into the building. Again, continuity is great there. I don't disagree with potentially in the later rounds, picking up a flyer, but I would actually rather do that in the 2027 draft, because I think that draft is loaded with quarterbacks from what I'm kind of seeing and hearing. So maybe do it next year. But a name that kind of, I'm looking at right now is Trey Lance. He's 26 years old. If we could, get him somewhat cheap as a backup, like, I don't know, just see what he's got. He hasn't had a lot of snaps in college. He was just with, he worked behind Justin Herbert. He, worked with Jim Harbaugh. He worked with, Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers for a few years. So you never know. A guy like him, he could be the next, oh gosh, I don't know,
Darnold.
but Sam Darnold, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that'd be kind of fun, but I don't think that'll happen. So let's just bring Kyle back.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think you just bring Kyle back. He should be cheap. There shouldn't be any tough negotiations with him. Yeah, I think that one's an easy. Trey Lance is intriguing. Maybe we can be the team that fixes him, but
I was going to say, if Kyle Shanahan couldn't fix him, I don't think anyone's going to fix him. So.
Yeah, and Harbaugh. Teddy Bridgewater is another name that's out there. I don't know if he still wants to play. Wow. Running back, we don't have any free agents unless the elephant in the room happens, and that's David Montgomery.
Oh, yeah.
Gun to your head, does he stay or do we trade him?
I think he stays.
Yeah, I think it's trending that he's staying now. It seems like a good fit with Petzing.
That report today was weird, though. I didn't like it.
Which one?
Oh, what was
the
that?
One where whoever reported that he wanted out, and then Monty responded and said, "Who said that?" or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird situation. And
wasn't it like Jeremy Fowler or something like that? He reported it, which it wasn't. I think maybe I screenshotted it. Maybe I didn't. But yeah, I thought it was a weird guy to be breaking that kind of stuff. But maybe it was a different Fowler. But yeah, I mean, if it was true that he wanted out, I feel like he wouldn't have replied with that. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Abdullah.
Yeah. There you go. I like the two at the bottom, A.J. Dillon and Hassan Haskins.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering if you would. If you're a team in need for a running back, who you looking here? Who's your favorite out of this list?
I like your number 46.
The money to
That's
take
your guy, Jordan.
Oh, God, dude.
Go.
That crazy catch on the ground changed our entire end of the season there. That was it. All right. You want to move on?
I'm thinking, yeah. This one's probably unknown at this point.
I mean,
wide receiver should be another.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if we trade him, like, do you think we'll sign someone or just give Jameer, like,
I have no idea.
They just trade up.
I don't know. They might draft someone then.
There's some good running backs in this class too. There's some big boys in this class.
Because you can't really spend money on another running back. You'd have to get someone at the cheap.
That wouldn't make any sense.
Wide receiver. Sounds like George Pickens is off the board. Cowboys are going to franchise him. The one for me is Khalif. That's our guy. I'd love to bring him back. Yeah, I don't know, though. I don't know what his situation's going to be.
Yeah. Hey, we could bring back Josh Reynolds. He'll never drop a pass in an NFC championship game.
Oh, man. I don't know if he would make it one day in the city if he came back here. There was a lot of hate going off after that. Poor guy. Yeah, Tim Patrick was great too. What do I bring in? Rashid Shaheed. Let's get some more speed going.
Mhm.
That'd be crazy. I'm sure we can afford that. We don't
I
really
was
need
gonna say,
that.
how much money would that be?
Yeah.
You wouldn't even need to play Amon-Ra. You just have J-Mo and then Rashid Shaheed on the other side, and then Gibbs in the back. Like, there you go. Guard it.
If you want speed, Tyreek Hill's out there too.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
man.
That's,
I mean,
Romeo
that's
Dobbs.
His knee exploded.
Yeah,
he
I would.
Yeah.
So,
I think he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was hanging the wrong way completely. That was bad.
Oh, I'm not good with that kind of stuff. I can't do it. But yeah, I'd love to have Khalif back. He's been so consistent for us when we need him.
He's getting up there in age a little bit, though. I didn't realize he was 31.
Yeah.
It's basically a senior citizen nowadays.
Yeah, that's true. All right,
I
what's
think with the
next?
top three guys, I think with our top three guys, we probably won't spend much here.
No.
Next is tight end. So this is an important
I don't
one.
even know if we need a draft. Oh, Ferkser, no. No, I like Zylstra. Zylstra just reminds me of the good days here as we were ascending, to the dominant force. He was our third stringer for a while, but you'd see him catch one or two passes, here and there, and did all right. So I wouldn't be surprised if they brought him back cheap. I'll be honest, I don't know who Zach Horton is. But the question is Laporta. I saw some rumor, or not rumors, but gossip, whatever. Like, people are like, do we trade Laporta? I don't know what you could get for him with the injury. Obviously you wouldn't. He's great. But I know he's at the end of his deal too. Or did we extend him? No, I don't think we extended him.
Not yet.
So is this year like a prove it year for him? He has to really play well off the back injury, you think?
Yeah.
That
I think
sucks,
kind of
'cause he's been
like
so
what we saw
good.
with Hutch, maybe.
Yeah. What round did we draft him? Like, I guess what's his situation for an extension? Like, can we just pick up, like, does he have a 5th-year option we can pick up, or what does that look like?
Was he
think it was
first
second
or
round.
second? Second
He
round?
was top of the second, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think we took him before Branch. They took Laporta, and then they were like, holy crap, Branch is still on the board. And they moved up and got Branch. I think.
Okay. No, yeah, I think that makes sense. I was just curious, like, what do we don't have to do anything with him. I guess, like, do we have a 5th-year option to pick up, or, do we, like, is he a potential unrestricted free agent after next year?
Let me look.
That's a good
at
question.
his.
Troy looked that up.
Yep, we got it right here. So
This is a good free agent group here, though. Tight end.
Yeah, I mean,
this is a good group. I love these.
The other
names.
thing I'll say is I wouldn't mind not spending, but like picking someone up, like a veteran, as a tight end, just because I feel like it's a position where, it doesn't matter if you're 28 or 32, you can still, like, you don't have to be super duper fast. You just have to know the game. You have to block a little bit, and you have to have good hands. Like, your mobility isn't as much of a direct correlation of just like how talented you are. Like, experience plays a bigger role in a tight end, I feel like.
So based on that, we want Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'd be okay with that.
I just think the top guys are going to be too expensive again. It's kind of
Yeah.
Like as Isaiah Likely would be awesome, but we're not going to be able to pay that.
Yeah.
You could also draft an absolute monster. Did you see his stats? He was like,
clear out for Jordan and let him go crazy for 2 minutes.
I keep wanting to call him Sadiq Bey. But that's definitely not his name. Should we talk Pistons really quick? My gosh,
one again.
Detroit basketball. No, I don't have a whole lot to say other than Sadiq. He was like top 3 of all time tight end, like vertical broad jump and whatever else they did. So I was I don't know. And I remember seeing him the first time I saw him play a college game, and I think he had like the extra tight unis, like Zeke used to do, and he was just like massive, like muscle. I'm like, oh my gosh. So no, most importantly, I feel like we need somebody who can block, and I know Brock Wright's good at that. So I feel like it's a position we'll see in addition for sure. Hopefully, someone.
Especially with how much Drew Petzing likes his tight ends.
And
sure.
It seems to kind of be trending this way too with the 3 tight end personnel. We're seeing that a little bit more. I think the Rams were doing it quite a bit this year. Seems like that'd be good in the run game too. Yeah. Now that we don't have our jumbo skip anymore.
Speaking of tight ends, was it Tyler Higbee that got his knee blown up by Kirby?
Yes, that was
okay.
Higbee.
So he would never come to Detroit.
That was one of the tight ends.
Him and Hawkinson.
Yeah,
so
we won't get into that.
So Laporta's contract after this year, he's a free agent, so he doesn't have a 5th-year option. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking they should go after 2 free agents, maybe. Like, yeah, like even Njoku or like Goddard and Kohler or something. Like, I don't know. I just feel like you need.
All right, yeah, tackle Taylor Decker's coming
right?
back. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it wouldn't surprise us, like we said, if we take one in the first round. Maybe there's some versatility with some college players that can either do guard or tackle. Or, I don't know, can tackles play center usually, or is that more like a center guard? Or is it rare? Anyway, like they're talking Tate might be center. And we still don't know what Graham's doing, or are they cutting Graham?
I think he's gone, isn't he?
He's still under contract.
He's still on the books, but I would assume he gets cut.
You think so?
Yeah.
Is this his last year of the contract?
Jonah. Oh, that's not the Jonah Williams. Is it Jonah?
Yeah, Jonah Williams, right?
No.
Who are we thinking of? Jonah Jackson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He's with the Bears.
He went. Yeah.
He went to the Rams, then the Bears.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know these free agents as much.
Nope.
Jonah Williams. Did he play for Cincy for a while?
I think it's the same guy, yeah.
Any hope for Manu?
So this is Glasgow's last year. No matter.
How much do we owe him if we don't cut him?
6.5. But his cap hit is 8.4.
It'll be interesting to see how they adjust this offensive line. 100%. Center, draft, Tate, Graham.
Would you rather have Graham back only playing like 8 games, or would you rather just have someone new? The unknown's scary, but Graham, like, he kind of fell off.
Yeah. I'd rather replace him with a veteran, not a draft replacement.
Yeah, because Graham, I mean, he wasn't a true center either.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Just get someone new.
Yeah. I wish kind of last year we would have just tried Tate at center just to see what would happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there was probably too much risk as a rookie going into that position. But I mean, hindsight's 20/20, but it would have been interesting to see, like, hey, could he be our center? We still don't know, but
you're right. If we had known before the season, hey, we're not going to be a playoff team, they could have experimented so much this past year.
Well, next is guard. So we've kind of touched on it.
There we go. Pretty good here. Zeitler's back on the board. I don't know if he'd come back.
I thought he was going to retire.
I know he's old.
I'd take
some young guards. Look at these young guards, though. Ratledge, Mahogany, Frazier. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Sorsdahl played a game or two way back. Asika hit too. I feel like he's been pretty solid when he's had to fill in.
Mm-hmm.
Or was that the game he was getting smoked with the Kingsley? Is that the one?
They're all blurring together.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I
Evan
wouldn't
Neal?
mind spending a little bit here. Like, I don't know, just pick up one of these younger guys that has a lot of potential. I don't know, because I mean, Mahogany, I think he's solid. Tate, I think he's still got a little bit of growing to do, within the game, but I think he'll be okay. But then again, like, you have one injury and then we're down to Miles Frazier, Sorsdahl, and it just was not what we wanted it to be. And hopefully with Frazier, like, did he come off an injury last year when he started to play, right?
Like when we drafted him.
I don't know if he got hurt.
I think
after
he was.
came back.
I thought he was hurt
he
for
got
like the
hurt.
first half of the season.
At the first half. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, yeah, give him,
he was on a
lot more
snap
reps.
count. We barely saw him.
Yeah, I know. Like I
was
feel like
weird.
he might have a higher ceiling than, a lot of people think. He was well touted coming out of LSU, so he could be a guy that could be a guy. So
yeah, they were calling that a steal. He was dropping that far and we grabbed him.
yeah.
Okay. You want to keep moving?
Center. This is the one.
Yep. Go. There we go. Oh. No, it sounds like they're gonna tag Linderbaum though, or no, it was like a market resetting contract they're about to offer him.
Okay.
So I've heard, Cade Mays. I feel like a lot of people think that would be a good fit and price, and then draft. I mean, I'm sure you can grab a center in the second, third.
Or do you look at like that's the most important position to shore up because that could be the next 10 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's so hard going from Frank. Like that's what our standard was for so long, and nothing comes close to that.
Yeah. Did Frank Regnow, was he immediately our center or was he a guard and then moved to center?
He played guard his rookie year.
Okay. So maybe that's Tate. I don't know. Like,
Could be.
Yeah. But Frank was a center in college, unlike Tate.
oh,
I know we're not talking draft, but I want the Iowa guy, Logan Jones.
What
he
about
just sounds like a great
Jake
lineman.
Slaughter? Jake Slaughter? That's a crazy name.
Yeah.
What about free agent? You think
I
they'll
like
take
Cade Mays.
Okay. I don't
He's
think
a
we
good
can get Tyler.
Yeah.
That would be perfect, though.
He's the one with Decker back. Linderbaum's probably out.
Boo. So that would sure up the line pretty quick. I would feel way more comfortable, pass and run game. Obviously, he's like the top center in the league now, but
Roy Lopez. That's it.
That's it. You don't want Reader back?
I'd take him back.
For a bag of chips, I'll take him back. Yeah, I could see them drafting. I know they like their big boys. I could see them taking a mid-round mid-round pick here on an interior defensive lineman. They love their big guys,
Yeah. I don't see him making a big splash here though, like in the draft or free agency. Like I think we're solid enough with the Aleem and Tyleek that maybe we add a fringe guy here or there, but we have so many other needs.
Cam Jordan.
I'd do.
There's
there's
probably some ties there with Dan Campbell.
That's true.
Not sure if he would be, a little bit higher price just for the name though.
But he's 36. It can't be that expensive.
Yeah, but okay. So let's move on here. This is the big boy. Look at this. Let's just reset it. Basically, we don't know how much Pascal and Hassanein are even going to play.
Yeah.
So what's this room going to look like? Are we bringing AQ? Like, there's no way Davenport. They got to move on. That was a huge.
I might boycott if they bring Davenport. I can't do it.
What if they do? They love him for some reason.
He'll be cheap.
He played like 3 games.
It should be in his contract. He plays like per snap. It's like $10 a snap, and then he gets $40 at the end of the year.
Dang, Zach. Tell us how you really feel, bro.
Ugh.
I'm sure he's a good dude. He just got hurt so much, and he's not even 30 yet.
That's crazy.
How much do you think Joey Bosa would be?
That's a good
Or
question.
even Khalil Mack.
He's washed.
Yeah.
Back. That'd be sick.
I don't know. How many
Listen.
sacks did he have last year? Like 5?
I don't.
Probably something like that.
Yeah, Joey, that's interesting because as much as I don't really want to boast on my team, I feel like he did he have a down year?
I don't remember.
Or he was just hurt?
He didn't do much. I don't remember if he was a little hurt too. I don't know. But I mean, at this point in his career, like he's probably not what he was 5 years ago. So Kwity Paye.
Yeah.
Do you
Is that a
think
Michigan
Man,
boy?
right?
Was he-
Uche.
where did he go? Dallas? I feel like Dallas always gets. Oh no, Dallas picks a lot of Michigan D linemen. I feel like.
Boy Mafe from Seattle. He'd be interesting.
Oh yeah, I like Mafe coming out.
Yeah. I think you need 2 of them here as well.
I thought he was more of a linebacker.
Kind of like a rush linebacker. Here's what I want to say about Muhammad though. So we talked about, we think he's just going to get paid way more than what we would be willing to bring back. And we mentioned all the reasons why we wouldn't want to pay him that. But doesn't every other team probably have that same opinion? So I almost wonder if he's a guy who could like slip through the cracks and end up like on a team friendly deal again, like another 1 year prove it deal or something, because he gets passed over again.
Yeah, maybe with this list, a free agency, I always go to the teams that are in rebuilding mode or they're just the bottom,
Yeah.
and they probably have some money to spend and they're like, screw it. This guy had 10, 12 sacks he had or 10. Like, let's just make our fans happy or just, see if he can repeat it, whatever. But which would make me think that we wouldn't get him at a good price. I don't know.
No, I was
Raiders
thinking along the same lines.
The Raiders are going to get rid of Max Crosby and be like, if we bring in Muhammad, we'll be competent, so it'll be fine.
Did you guys see any chatter about them going after Max Crosby? Is that just all Twitter crap? Before the Terrion Arnold thing, I saw 2 different posts, and it was probably garbage, Lions, whatever. But
I don't think there's any chance we end up with him. Like 0.
Yeah.
He would come here, though.
Would Hutch and Max combine for 40 sacks combined?
He's from Lapeer. Oh my God, could you imagine Hutch and that's not fair.
Give him 2 first rounders, but then his contract is $10 million a year. But if we win the Super Bowl, we give him like $100 million bonus or something like that.
I know. Would they even let him do something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pipe.
Yeah.
Realistically, though, like we're gonna have to you're gonna have to fill these positions. There's only 3. Like,
yeah.
I mean, Trey Hendrickson's probably out of our budget right now. I would think Jalen Phillips probably. I don't know if that's realistic either. So we'll see. Just bring in, them. They like to bargain shop. They'll probably pick someone coming off an injury, give them a shot. They'll probably take another guy who maybe but was a good prospect but hasn't shown out yet. I feel like that's kind of there.
Sounds like you just described Marcus Davenport.
Zach. Oh man.
I'm sure he's a good dude.
Damn, I could try and get up to 280. I'm not very tall, but I could put some beef on here. It's only like 50 pounds away.
I wouldn't hate taking like a flyer on like Kwity Paye or something like that, or even Uche. Like, I mean, he wouldn't be expensive, but he, in the right culture and the right fit, some of these guys could be great. I don't know.
They're pretty young.
It'd be fun. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd imagine
obviously add in the draft, but
yeah, they got to get it both.
Yeah,
it just would blow my mind if they brought back Davenport or AQ. Imagine they bring them both back.
Oh,
Yeah,
people would be so pissed. We're not changing anything.
hard pass.
I think you need two edges and a draft one.
What's exciting is Hutch is going to be even better next year, not having to come off the injury. So that's exciting. So really whoever they get is probably going to do pretty well, I would think. Just look at what AQ did.
The most fun free agent scenario would be you just pay the bullet 1 year for Trey Hendrickson and you just go crazy.
Oh, man.
I'm not as high on him as a lot of people. I don't know. Like, I don't really have a great reason why. I feel like if we got him if we traded for him versus now he's going to have a big contract, like, I don't know. I feel like he's a guy where if you're going to give him a bunch of money and then 2 or 3 years, you're going to drop him. Like,
I'm just saying for a short term, though, he produces like he makes an impact. He just can't stop the run well.
Ooh, here's another one.
Nowaski, I love Nowaski. Special teams. I feel like he was good when he was in too.
They Rodrigo a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know how much he would want, but I always liked him.
Or is he just the poster boy from the Hard Knocks season we were on? Everybody loved him from that.
Yeah.
Anzalone, I don't know. I feel like
I
don't know if that's happening.
I feel like it's run its course. Like I've the last 3 years he's been great for us, but I feel like he's gonna try to get a contract somewhere.
You know who would fit well on this team behavior wise is Quay Walker. I mean, our guys, him and Brian Branch would be freaking getting in fights every single weekend.
Oh man,
Leo Chenal, I like him.
Yeah. Is that Devin Lloyd too?
Yeah, Devin Lloyd, Devin Bush. I like all these guys.
Yeah.
If Devin Bush wasn't a Michigan guy, though, you probably wouldn't like him, Troy.
That's fair.
Oh man. This could be another draft too. I feel like this could be I could definitely see them going this way in the draft. Pretty early. It just kind of fits their style of play. I think there's some good crop here. I can't think exactly. I had one in my head earlier today that I was listening on a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, he sounds like he'd be a good fit," but I can't recall.
It's crazy that Jack and Rodrigo are the same age.
Yeah. I would be for bringing Anzalone back. I mean, I think the bridge might be burned, but he's perfect for this defense. He'd be cheaper than probably a lot of these younger guys for sure. And I don't know. I just don't know if I trust Barnes stepping into that spot.
But I feel like we're gonna have to pay. Like we're gonna give Jack Campbell an extension this season, and I just don't feel like I don't think we're gonna have the money to pay what he wants. So I think we're gonna try to get someone like him in the draft. I mean, I would love to have him. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like he's just gonna be too much money.
But would anyone give him what he wants? 31-year-old?
I feel like
there's a lot of dumb teams out there.
Right, like the Jets maybe, like a team that's not going to be doing much. That let's pick him up, like Jordan, you're saying, like right. So
he's got. I mean, he's probably got a lot of 100 tackle seasons too. Like, or I don't know quite that much, but he's been a baller. Like he does do a lot for a defense.
I have to look it up now.
We're just kind of ready to move on. It's a weird.
Yeah.
But he's been with Shep for so long too. Like, I don't know. They can't. You would think they'd make it work. And Campbell too. He's with Campbell in New Orleans. Like, kind of really made his career here, coming here to Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
Are we good to? Oh, my favorite room. I can't. There's Tariq Woolen. I was trying to get him last year, trying to get trade for him. Like, we need help. We need help.
You're saying this is like your own personal Marcus Davenport.
This is my dad. It's just it's so hard to watch them.
All right.
For the record, Alex Anzalone has 2 100 tackle seasons.
Right. Were they with us? Both with us, I'm assuming.
I think they were both with the Saints. No, both with us.
No.
And he just missed last year. He was like at 95, wasn't he? Like
Yeah,
really
it was
close.
in the 90s.
Yeah.
Good.
I want to bring back Rock and Amik. I like both those guys. I'm willing to give Amik another shot.
I'm fine with that. I can't get any worse. Like what?
But
Whatever.
but then like that's basically the same room.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, Terrion will be in jail. Rakestraw's probably not killed yet.
I feel like this is where we got to spend. Like,
Okay.
I think we need to hit maybe not like those top 2 or 3 guys that we see here, but we got to give one of these guys a contract. Like, I don't know much about Stokes or Josh Jobe or whatever, but like I feel like this is where it's so hard to hit in the draft, and we just haven't. Like we were joking about it earlier, like we have not hit one of these in the draft, and I don't have any confidence that we will. So give a contract to one of these dudes.
There's a lot of names. Kendall Vildor's still out there. Okuda's out there.
Okuda.
Get the band back together.
Gosh, run it back. Like I said, it can't be worse. Like it can't get
Any
worse.
I to Matt Patricia. No, thank you.
I like what you said, Jordan. Let's go get Reek Woolen.
Do it. Send it. Then you're more comfortable. Whatever Rakestraw looks like, if he's anything, just a depth piece. Bring back Rock and Amik, and then that's fine.
It might be worth noting, like DJ Reed was awesome until he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if that, I mean, he's getting a little bit older, but if he comes back as the player that he started the season as, our defense looks totally different, which means, Amik isn't having to guard the apex predator number 1 receivers like he was down the stretch. That's not really his role. Everything got shifted and it got screwed up. So we'll see. But I think DJ Reed might be like our free agent signing, if you want to think of it like that.
Yeah. And he was solid, obviously coming off the injury, it was not the same. But I think what makes this room even worse, I mean, edge takes forever to get there. And then this next room, the safeties, without Kirby and Branch, those corners, like it's all going to be bad. Like our defense might be starting off cooked with new pieces and safeties out. And Terrion still, incarcerated or whatever. No, allegedly.
I think the most frustrating part about this position is we were totally fine going into the last year. Like we were probably one of the top 5 teams as safety going into last year. And now here we are, Kirby, who knows? And Brian, I think he's still long-term going to be a Lion, but this year, I don't know what that looks like. So I roll with, Harper, maybe bring back Maddox. I think we liked him and see what Dan Jackson has. I think, he was a solid guy at Georgia. So, you never know. So, but again, this is probably a position where we got to do something.
We did love Thomas Harper at the end of the year. He was a starting caliber safety, so he'll jump in right away. That'll be nice. But yeah, maybe corner and safety you spend on both of them because last year was pretty rough at the end.
Yeah, this one, the biggest tell for us, knowing what the Kirby and Branch situation is what they do here. If the Lions essentially don't do anything at safety, then we can feel pretty good probably about the health of those 2 guys. But if they go out and they sign a Blankenship or, a big safety, or they draft one in the first round, then we know it's like, Kirby might be done kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. And that's the problem is how much more money can we spend on safety? So it's then they got to make that hard decision of what they're going to do with, didn't they just pay Kirby too?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's Branch is eligible for an extension here now. So it's obviously I would think they do that even coming off the Achilles.
going to get tough quick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is a sad one.
Yeah, Holmes has his work cut out for him. That's for sure.
For sure.
Him and Shep.
Special teams. So I'll point out here. So we were wondering about Jake Bates. So I looked up what this means with him technically being a sort of free agent. So he's an exclusive rights free agent, which essentially means the Lions hold all the leverage. They can just renew his contract for the league minimum and he's back. So if the Lions want him back, he's back. The weird thing about him, though, is all of their other exclusive rights free agents, they've already renewed their contract. Bates, they haven't yet. So does that just mean they're working on a long-term deal with Bates? Or are they thinking something else? I don't know. I would assume it's a long-term deal, but it's a little weird.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like kicker could go either way. Like, and I probably like Jake Bates the most out of this crew. You know, I know Troy, you twitch a little bit when he steps it up to it, but I've liked him. I feel like he's fit the culture of this team the last 2 years, but yeah, time will tell.
Yeah, if you think you're in this window, like they think they're just sustaining in a Super Bowl window indefinitely, but like I'm sure they're feeling they still have a chance to win it next year. You don't want to mess around with kickers. You don't want to experiment. He's good enough. He's been fine. He's been good. He's hit some game winners. I'd just send it. I'd even pay him a little bit just to give him a little pat on the back,
Yeah.
After I saw the free agent kickers, I'm all 100% on bringing Bates back. You can see the three in the middle are the kickers: Zane Gonzalez, Matt Prater, Riley Patterson. We don't want to go down that.
We've already messed with Prater and Patterson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The top
Prater.
three are long snappers. So do we have any hot takes on Hogan Hatton versus JJ Jansen?
No. I like Hogan. He's almost half his age, so let's keep him.
Or Thomas Morstead, a punter?
Sam Martin, wasn't he our punter for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I put him on there.
Troy, I think you know more about long snappers than anyone in North America.
I saw Scott Daly, so I recognized that name because he's a former Lion. Morgan Cox has a fun name, and JJ Jansen's over 40, so that's why I put him on there.
Oh man, that's awesome. Imagine being 40 playing long snapper in the NFL, still just making a mill.
God,
whatever they pay long
that'd be the
snappers.
life.
That would be.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that was our last group. So next week will be hopefully some clarity. I guess we can jump on after next week if anything's happened, or who knows, maybe the Lions are going to be more of a week 2 or week 3 team.
Yeah.
Probably.
One thing I did want to do with y'all of, okay, are we done with like the segments we're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so out of all of the head coaching hires, this was a big year, 10 new ones. From everyone, I want like one guy that you think is gonna flop and maybe be done in a year, 2 at most, and then one guy that you think is like, they might go to NFC Championship or AFC Championship, or like, in the next couple of years, they're going to be like right in it kind of thing. I'll quick go through all of the coaches. You got Arizona, Mike LaFleur; Atlanta, Kevin Stefanski; Baltimore, Jesse Minter; Bills, Joe Brady; Browns, Todd Monken; Raiders, Kubiak; Miami, Jeff Hafley; Giants, John Harbaugh; Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike McCarthy; Titans, Salah; and that's it. So, Jordan, let's start with you.
How far they'll get?
Like, give me one great hire, essentially, and one they're gonna flop hire.
Oh man, I'll go Mike LaFleur down in AZ.
Yep.
Just, I don't know. I feel like that organization's not in a great spot outside of McBride. I'll do a surprise. I'm gonna say Robert Saleh. They're going to the playoffs next year. Tennessee Titans. They might even win the AFC South. Shocker. Let's see it happen. That's a good coaching staff. I like the coaching staff down there.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I think they'll do well.
Cam Moore, it'll be like it's like the New England Patriots. Would be kind of poetic too with Vrabel going to the Patriots.
Yeah. Zach, who you got?
Was it Jesse Minter going to Baltimore?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, I like that one a lot. That team's already good. He seems like he knows how to push all the right buttons. So I like that one. I think whoever gets the Browns job is just going to be cursed. So Todd Monken, step right up,
Yeah.
earn your money, and then probably never coach again because that's how bad it is there. Was it who is the defensive guy that stepped down after the hire?
Jim Schwartz.
Yeah, Jim Schwartz. So that's not a great sign because the defense was the only reason that team was doing much of anything. So I think that one could be even more combustible, especially if they try to start Deshaun Watson.
What a mess.
Yeah.
Troy?
All right, my flop. I'm going to go with Clint Kubiak in Vegas. I think kind of like Zach's reason for the Browns. I think they're screwed. They're going to rebuild, and usually coaches don't survive rebuilds. Even when you know the expectation is low, seems like those guys never last. And for me, this is probably obvious. Jesse Minter in Baltimore. I think he's an amazing coach. I know when he was Michigan's defensive coordinator, he was great. And then he went to the Chargers and he was great. He's a superstar. So I think that's the home run of the whole cycle. And I'll give a little honorable mention to flop is John Harbaugh and the Giants. I know I don't know. He's just in Baltimore so long that I just wonder how he'll do in a new place. So I don't know. I was debating between him and Kubiak, but
Yeah.
I'll stick with Kubiak.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of on the same lines, with these flops. It's I think Todd Monken, I totally agree. I don't think he's going to last more than 2 years max, but I'll give I don't think Jeff Hafley in Miami. I just think their situation, I'm sure he's a good coach, but I feel like their quarterback situation, I just don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I don't think they're going to run it back with Tua. It sounds like they want to do something there. So, you just never know with that. I actually think Mike LaFleur from the Cardinals is kind of underrated because LaFleur, I think he came from, the McVay coaching tree. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like all of those hires have been pretty solid, and he's got one of the best coaching trees. And watched a couple interviews, and I think he's got a good offensive mind to him, and I think he's kind of underrated and might get them back, which would be fun to see. They haven't done much in the last 10 years, it feels like. So yeah, I was kind of curious just because there's 10 new coaches this year, which is just insane. So will be interesting to see how it goes.
Who's going to be the quarterback in Arizona?
It doesn't sound like Kyler.
Yeah.
So his job might be tied to whoever they pick at quarterback.
Which is rough.
Ty Simpson.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe they run it back with, what was the backup?
Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby, at least for a year, and then, wait till the draft is just stocked next year. But yeah, you never know.
Tua in Arizona.
Oh gosh.
Oof.
Here, I'll just
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson.
Russell.
Joe Flacco.
Can we get someone under 35?
Malik Willis. There we go.
There you go.
No, you want a flop for next year.
Yeah, I would agree. Just stock up the picks.
All right. Well, we'll probably check in here maybe in a couple weeks, really depending on what the Lions do in free agency. The next real milestone for us is free agency, and then it's the draft. So might be a couple weeks before we pop back in. But yeah, we'll see what happens in free agency. I will say right before we go, let's have a little fun, quick Pistons segment. Our Detroit Pistons, number 1 in the East. Let's do a quick. What are your guys' expectations for this year? How far they're going to get? Zach?
I think they can make the finals. I don't know if they can win the finals. There's a lot of really good teams in the West, but I mean, I think they should be favorites to come out of the East. And man, they just mash everybody. It's so fun to watch.
Yeah, they are fun for sure. I'll go Eastern Conference Finals. It feels like they should make the finals for sure, but I don't know. I could see them maybe having a little bit too much youth on the team for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say that if they don't make the Eastern Conference Finals, then something went real wrong. But I kind of expect them to land there. Maybe they'll get into the finals. But yeah, I would agree. Like, they haven't really had a run in the playoffs yet, which you kind of need that. And we had one series against the Knicks last year, and granted, probably should have won maybe one more of those games. Maybe go to 7, but. Yeah, I think you need a little bit more experience, but you never know. This team's great.
Yeah.
Would you rather face the Knicks or the Cavs? We'll just say those two.
The Knicks. This team is never going to lose to the Knicks ever again. It's personal every single time. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Like the team that stays on the bench.
Yeah.
Oh, the team that scares me is Boston. If Jason Tatum actually can come back, they're the ones that scare me, and then youth scares me. So I kind of feel like Eastern Conference Finals. But I will say, if you guys saw the 40-20 thing, so teams that win 40 games before they lose 20 games have won 18 of the last 19 championships. And this year, there's only 3 teams who met that criteria. It's the Pistons, Spurs, and Thunder. So,
yeah.
There we go. That might be it.
Crazy. Can't imagine beating those West teams.
Could you imagine in the finals? God, that'd be so much fun.
Pistons versus the Spurs.
Oh,
Wemby.
Wemby
should be a Piston.
I know.
Jalen Duren starting to look like a young Dwight Howard.
Dude,
he's Dwight Howard if Dwight Howard could dribble and shoot free throws, which is scary.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's a freak.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch. Him and Cade. That's a good duo right there.
Yeah.
All right, guys. On that note, we'll talk to you guys later and see you in a couple weeks.
Peace.
Bye.